Okay, so as you saw that the first slope was -3/7 and the second slope was 7/3. You can clearly notice that they have the same slope, but one is the flip or the reciprocal, we say, of the other. If this is 3/7, this is 7/3. And here we have a minus and here we have a plus. So the relation between the two slopes is the following. M1, the first one, times M2 should be equal to -1. Let's check this. Let's check if this is correct. M1 is -3/7 and M2 is 7/3. Let's multiply them. You can clearly, or you can directly do 3, simplify 3 and 3 and 7 or 7. But in case you don't know how to do this, you can multiply them. 3 times 7, which is 21, and 7 times 3, which is 21. Now you can simplify them, and it's only -1 left. So the relation between the slopes of two perpendicular lines is the following. The product or the multiplication of the first slope with the second slope should always be -1. Let me give you a small example aside. For example, if you have half and -2, this is M1 and this is M2. Let's multiply them. M1 times M2 is equal to half times -2. Now I'll put -2 over 1 and it will be 1 times 2, which is 2 with a negative, and 2 times 1, which is 2. If you simplify 2 and 2, so the answer is equal to -1. So these are slopes of two perpendicular lines. So let's go over it again. If we have two parallel lines, they have the same slope, like here. But if I have two perpendicular lines, there is a relation between their slope, which is the first one times the second one is equal to -1. Now, how is it going to be, or how the question will be? They will ask you, use the slope to determine whether the lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. So you will be given two lines, and you have to say if these two lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. So first, let me find the first slope, M1, for FG. This is for FG. It's 2 minus 1, 2 minus 1 over 2 minus 1, which is 1 over 1, which is 1. Now M2, this is for JH. M2 is 2 minus 1 also over 1 minus 2, which is 2 minus 1 is 1, and 1 minus 2 is -1 because 2 is bigger. So the answer is -1. Now let's see. First you ask yourself, are they the same? No, they're not the same. So they are not parallel. Now, the second thing you do, you multiply them, like here, M1 times M2. We have to multiply them and we have to check the answer. So M1 times M2 is equal to 1 times -1, which is -1. So you ask yourself, is this answer -1? it is, so they are perpendicular. So you write they are perpendicular. Now let's try another example. Here, for example, Rm. I will do M1, which is 3 minus 5, and 3 minus 5 over negative 1 minus 2. This is minus 2 because 5 is bigger, so I put the sign of the bigger, negative. And here, same sign, so I have to add, which is negative 3. You can cancel the negative and the negative, and the answer will be 2 over 3. Now let's try to find M2 for LL, which is 1 minus 1 over 2 minus 1. 1 minus 1 over 2 minus 1, which is 0 over 1, which is 0. Now I ask myself, are the slopes equal? No, so the lines are not parallel. Second step I do M1 times M2 to check if they are perpendicular, which is 2 over 3 times 0, which is basically 0. Any number multiplied by 0 is a 0. So the answer, is it negative 1? No, it's a 0. So they are not perpendicular. So it's neither. It's not parallel, not perpendicular. Okay? So this is the lesson. I hope you understood. And as I always say, don't hesitate to send me any question you have.